horizontal and vertical lines. Horizontal and vertical lines are a little bit different from the other lines we've learnt how to graph. We don't need a table of values to graph these, and they've got very particular sorts of rules. These are all horizontal and vertical lines here, and what you'll see they've got in common is some of them start with X, some of them start with Y, but it's just one letter equals one number. So normally when we've got a straight line graph, it would be Y equals something to do with X. It's got a Y and an X. Horizontal and vertical lines only have a Y or an X, and they just equal a number. And I'll show you what we mean. Y equals 3. That's the rule of the line. Now here's a really good spot for Y to equal 3. That's where Y equals 3. Basically what this is saying is it doesn't matter what X equals, Y is 3. If X is 1, Y is 3. If X is 2, Y is 3. Anywhere along this line here lines up with Y equals 3. And to graph the line, put a line through it, arrows at either end, and label it Y equals 3. So you'll notice that when an equation has only a Y, I get a horizontal line because it goes through the Y-axis at the number they gave me. So when we're graphing Y equals -2, we go to Y equals -2, and then it's a really good idea to pick another 2 points, so we've got 3 points that could be on that line. Any points at all where Y equals -2. So Y is -2 here. It doesn't matter what X is because Y is always -2. So I'm going to put another one there. And it's just a really good idea because it stops you putting your line in the wrong spot. 3 points where Y equals -2. Put your line through, arrows at either end, Y equals -2. Now I'm sure you can guess what's going to happen with the X lines. We'll go to X equals 5. There. Now what this is saying is it doesn't matter what Y is, X has to be 5. So X could be 5 and Y is 1. X could be 5 and Y is 2. X is always 5. That's the only thing that matters for this line. And see how it makes a vertical line. X equals 5. So when the line has an X and no Y, we'll get a vertical line, vertical, and it goes through the X value that they give us, and that's all that matters. X is always 5. Just make X always 5 and we're good. And X is 0. Well, that's a tricky one. Look at that. That's where X is 0. X is also 0 here and here. So X is 0 is actually a really tricky one to graph because I've got to put a line, I didn't get that quite right, a line on the Y-axis. So you've actually got to make X equals 0 really clear. Hey look, I put X equals 0. So it's funny, isn't it? When X is 0, it's a line on the Y-axis. So your steps are recognize that it's a horizontal or a vertical line because it's only got one letter and one number. Put a point where Y equals 3 or where X equals 5. And then put a couple more points that follow that rule. I don't care what X is, but Y is 3. And that helps you get the correct horizontal or vertical lines.